Trap metal is a subgenre of hip-hop that has been having a pretty good run from the mid-2010s to the present day. It is July 2025 of the time this video was uploaded. Despite trap metal already having a couple of videos explaining what it is, I feel like it was only appropriate for me to make a video about what has been currently going on with the music and the scene altogether. Some people believe that the genre has ran its course already, especially since a lot of the artists who contributed to the genre has stopped making trap metal music altogether, moving on to different sounds, or doesn't have the same spotlight that they once had. And it kind of sucks that every once in a while there will be a new allegation coming. It's always either a rapper doing some Diddy shit, scamming people, and all of that shit. But on the other hand, there are still multiple artists that contribute to this genre. I personally believe that trap metal was at its peak during pre-COVID, but that's when everybody was on that just a little darky wave because they were so new at the time. But those artists, along with other artists, would inspire the wave that came right after that. Once the genre started to drift away from the mainstream and the record label, trap metal started to feel more like a community. Some people don't even like calling the genre trap metal anymore, giving it alternative names such as scream rap or loud music. But this video is going to be mostly about notable things that has been happening in the scene, and I'm going to be talking about topics that deserve to be mentioned. However, I'm going to be leaving some details out so I can make room for my Dark Underground Iceberg Part 2 video. Other than that, let's get right into today's video.
Crucifix.
I want to start off this video by paying my respects to Seshspawn. Seshspawn was a rapper who was making waves in the new underground trap metal scene. Sesh was also a part of an underground collective called No Lives Matter, which had artists such as Dieperry, Vythe, and more. But unfortunately, on June 30th, 2025, Seshspawn would lose his life from a seizure. His death would leave a lot of fans in shock, including myself. It always sucks to see somebody lose their life so young, especially when it's somebody that you know. Seshspawn was active posting music online for a couple of years, having a lot of citymorgue fans argue the fact that he sounds too much like Zillakami. But I'm not going to get into that for today's video out of respect, because at the end of the day, he was his own artist and we'll never get to see how he could have grown apart from all of that musically. I was supposed to have him perform at one of my shows back in February, but it never went through. Seshspawn is somebody that will always be remembered in our community, and his music will still get played by those who knew him before death and after. Rest in peace, Seshspawn. Okay, now we're gonna move on to the next topic, the official return of Zillakami. For those who don't know, Zillakami has been out of the spotlight for the past year now because of some serious allegations against him. His reputation took a bad turn. Some fans were so hurt to the point where they had to go burn their merchandise or even sell them online for dirt cheap. But on the other hand, you got some fans who are still very loyal to Zillakami. But after a whole year in the dark, Zillakami decides to come back. Zillakami was booked for a concert gig in the UK where he would play some old songs and perform some new songs. This would leave fans with questions, wondering if this is actually the return of Zillakami. But it was all confirmed by Zillakami himself when Zilla would go on Instagram and post a picture of himself with a mask on, with the caption saying Titans 2025. And not too long after this, he would go post a video snippet of a brand new song that he's going to be putting out soon. So this basically confirms that Zillakami is going to come back with some new music sometime soon. A lot of fans have a lot of different things to say about this. Some people are still upset with Zillakami, and some people are happy that he's coming back. Now the question is in the air if people either want to separate the art from the artist or stop listening to him altogether. But that's really up to you to decide of how you want to look at it. And everyone has the right to feel how they feel. Are you still going to support Zillakami after everything, or are you going to stop listening to him? I know some people already have. Let me know in the comments. Alright, our next big topic we're going to talk about is the disbandment of Gore Street. If you don't know what Gore Street was an underground collective group that was founded by Craig Scissorhands, making trap metal music, ultimately leading up to the subgenre Necrotrap. Necrotrap is a subgenre that blends between trap metal and horrorcore music, with darker themes and lyrics than your average trap metal song. The group would have more members such as Rejected Reyna, Heptanot, Killtech, Yox, and more. The group was very active for 2 years, releasing multiple music projects, gaining a more of a cult fan base, and most importantly to me, the merchandise that they were putting out. But unfortunately, in July of 2025, the group would come to a decision and decide to end the Gore Street project. Each artist seems like they want to start doing their own thing now. For an example, Craig Scissorhands is now running a new clothing brand called Rancid Stalker, and Rejected Reyna is getting ready to put out a new album and announce that he's going to be working on a new film. But I do want to say something. I think Gore Street's merchandise was probably one of the greatest merch I've seen in an underground setting in a while. Most of the time, artists would probably just put out one t-shirt with a good design, or or some artists just never released their merch at all. More on that later. I'm excited to see what each artist has to bring to the table now that they're not in a group anymore. It was fun while it lasted, but of course everything has to come to an end. And that's the beauty about everything, right? Do you guys like my pillow?
This side? That's the fuck up this side.
Who are you?
I'm Reyna. Rejected. Reyna. I'm Reyna.
Now we're gonna get into some honorable mentions. Since we are on the topic about merchandise, I still haven't received my Nascar merch yet. So it looks like a lot of people haven't really been getting their Nascar merch as of lately. But the other day he would post on his story about the situation, saying that he thought that his team handled the situation and if it was under his hands it wouldn't have happened like this. But the reason why I'm bringing this up is because the underground kind of has a problem with scamming, and sometimes ego has a play in that. I'm not saying directly that Nascar Aloe is a scammer. There are a few good artists in the underground that do some scamming, and some people never really speak out about it. So they kind of let the scammers get away with it. And it unfortunately would leave bad taste in people's mouths where they would just move on to a different genre or community. That's not really the only reason why people would leave this genre. You know how I said earlier that some people were leaving the genre, making different music. Cameron Ozzy is still making music, but he's doing political reels now. Little Darky doesn't really make trap metal music anymore, but him and Brumman God are in the duo group now, God Hand USA, but they don't do trap metal music anymore. Spider Gang also isn't a group anymore. Young Rare is still a— Whoa, Cruz, save that for part 2 of the Iceberg. Oh shit, yo, thanks. But before the video ends, I do want to mention these few artists that do contribute to the scene, and I recommend you checking them out. I truly believe that trap metal has potential to grow, because from this video, I think me and you can agree that this scene is pretty active, even if it's for the bad reasons. But you know what? That's just nature.
You know what changed my life? What? Black tar heroin. Yeah.
Was there anything that I missed out in this video that you thought I was gonna mention? If there was, please leave it in the comments. If you are waiting for the Iceberg part 2, comment 222 right now. It looks like there's not really a lot of people that are covering this side of the underground, so pass that torch to me if you will. And if you want me to talk about anything next, please comment it. I love to do it. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Same thing with my Instagram. And I'll see you in the next video.
Lord Lan.
What type of music you making, Lan?
I'm kind of like an inventor. I created a whole genre. It's called rage rap.